Yes, anyone here? Is there anyone who can like the generations of computers are completed, right? Yes, yes, Anuja Kulkarni. Okay, so just today I'll just highlight it. Okay, the gender. Can anyone tell what are the different generations of computer? I think this is the first interaction with you people from because even second year also I'm not handled any subject. I think as per the subject, this is the first interaction with you all. Roll number 21. But there are some people are there, they used to communicate me through the WhatsApp and all if they have any query. Few people they are have had an interact with me through phone call or through WhatsApp message if they're having any query. But through the subject communication, this is the first time. Okay. Okay, guys. So we'll start some basic structure of the computer. Okay. As you know, I think this my screen is visible, right? Okay, I'm not shared the screen. Okay, okay, okay. So as you know, these are the main functional units. These are the main functional units of the computer. Okay, these are the main functional units: input unit, output unit, memory, arithmetic logic unit, control unit. Okay, the control signals, and totally we call this as a processor. Okay, so this is the main processing unit, right? Input unit as in your computer, we can say the keyboard, mouse, and all these are inputs. Output is a display unit, and memory where we store the data. Okay, so these all you know the data in terms of machine as machine understandable like a binary form of data, binary form of data like in terms of 0 or 1. Okay, so it understands the data, the instructions, assembly language instructions to binary code. Okay, then in the memory we have the primary memory, secondary memory. Okay, so here we have the primary memory, that is random access memory. Okay, then in there are the various level of hierarchy is there. Okay, the level of hierarchy. Okay, I think you know like cache registers. It stores the data in terms of bits register. Then after that, cache memory. Can anyone tell what is cache memory? And RAM primary memory. Then after this, secondary memory. Can anyone tell? Unmute. Secondary memory. Cache memory क्या है? I think you are most people are familiar. Row number 79. Cache memory. What is cache memory? Row number 79. Yes. Row number 79. Please unmute row number 79. get the name? Row number 79. See, the one thing that I can clearly tell you, if you won't interact, no, you will face a problem in the future. Like I have observed many of the things in the class, no, like the people, those means means interaction means you should not only tell the answer, whatever you know, yes or no, okay. As because the cache memory data, these are some general questions, okay, to store the program instruction that are frequently used. Good. And the main thing is, no, you have to communicate what happens, no. As my observation, most of the people, they are rejected in the interview because of their lack of communication in the interview, okay. Because as you people are like hiding your face by turn off with the audio video, okay. So it will be problem for you in the future, okay. Because you will clear online test and all in the placement, no, you will recruitment test, you will clear online test, coding test, you will clear. But during the technical interview and all, you are unable to communicate, and that time 90% you will face a problem because you are not having that like, because in this class and all you can interact, so that you can improve your this interaction communication skill. This is very important, okay. So try to interact, and it may be right wrong, that doesn't matter, interaction is very important, okay. So cache memory is there, no, it stores some frequently accessed items, store the frequently accessed items, okay. सो कैश मेमोरी अभी आप आपके मोबाइल में जो आप सर्च करते रहते हो, ओके, इन द मोबाइल फोन यू यूज टू सर्च एंड ऑल these the like the search, whatever the you are searched the content, no, it stores in a in your cache memory. So whenever you type in the next time, immediately it will give a suggestion. So that is all about the memory. Just I'll revise in this lecture. Then ALU, automatic logic unit operation. Okay, that ALU operation, it requires a registers, okay, to perform the operation. Okay, it requires a registers to perform the some automatic logic unit operations, ALU operations. Okay, then control unit as it performs the main input output operation. It deal control operation, it controls the data flow from input to output, and it stores the data in the memory, okay. So all these are basics. Now it comes to the generation of computer, or we can say evolution of computers, okay. Evolution of computers, or generation of computer, we can say generation of computers, okay. So there are as normally in the textbooks and all, they are mentioned total five generations of computers. As the first generation, what is the main processing device in the first generation? Let me know. Anyone? Per generation, as we will have some discussion. Per generation में क्या था main processing device? In now in the fifth generation, what is the main processing device? ICs, processor chip is the main processing device, okay. And you have gone through the microprocessors also, that is in the fourth generation mein microprocessor is the main processing device, okay. So just you think this, is it visible, this video? Yes, let me know. Just unmute and say yes. Yes,
Yes, sir.
okay, thank you. You can just go through this video. The first generation will start from 1946. ENIC,
In
Electronic
February
Numerical Integrated
1946,
Computer.
the U.S. government revealed to the public the existence of a secret computer, which had been developed under the code name Project PX. The computer was called ENIAC, a massive...
Is it audible? Yes. आवाज आता है ना?
सर लो है आवाज बहुत.
Okay. Maybe, but you can understand with
digital
the
computer,
pictures.
begun in 1943 under the authority of the U.S. Army. The ENIAC was developed at the Moore School of Electrical Engineering at the University of Pennsylvania. The following film is perhaps one of the earliest existing video records of a fully operational electronic digital computer ever made. This originally silent film has been carefully edited to remove lighting imperfections and other issues present in the original.
Okay, guys, see, this is the first generation computer, as we can say, first computer, ENIAC, electronic numerical integrator and computer, the first generation
In all other
computer.
respects, it contains 100% of the original film footage and is provided here for historical purposes. ENIAC stands for Electronic Numerical Integrator and Computer. It was the world's first large-scale digital electronic general-purpose computer. It was designed.
Yeah, guys, here you can see the first how large the computer size is. As the people they are roaming inside the computer room and they are fixing the some cables and all. Okay, you just compare this with your fifth generation computer. Fifth generation means you are using your mobile phone, laptop, your tablet, and all. And this is the first generation computer.
To be capable of being reprogrammed to solve a large number of numerical problems. ENIAC was conceived and designed by John Mauchly and J. Presper Eckert of the University of Pennsylvania. They headed up a team of engineers and others that worked on the ENIAC project, which began in 1943. The team that worked on the ENIAC included a large number of women who were instrumental in the detailed task of manually programming this giant machine. Programming was accomplished by setting switches and connecting wires according to specific instructions, which were first worked out on paper and then carefully carried out and tested. Mapping the program out on paper took weeks. The task of setting the switches and wiring cables to match the program diagram then took many days to complete. When it was originally designed, there was no written manual on how to program the ENIAC. The women involved in the actual programming of the machine relied on block diagrams and logic diagrams of the machine's operation, as well as personal talks with the engineers directly responsible for specific parts of the ENIAC machine.
So here in the first generation computer, no, they use punched cards. Punched cards even nowadays also in some of the textile factory and all they use as an input device. As an input device, the punched cards.
In 1997, the 6 women who did most of the programming of ENIAC were inducted into the Women in Technology International Hall of Fame. In addition to switch panels and wiring panels, ENIAC used an IBM punch card reader for input and an IBM card punch machine for data output. The timing of these machines was synchronized with the operation of the ENIAC itself. The ENIAC was a very large machine. It weighed over 30 tons. The ENIAC had a total of 40 panels and utilized 18,000 vacuum tubes, with 70,000 resistors and 10,000 capacitors. ENIAC also had its own dedicated power lines. To keep the vacuum tubes from overheating, the room was air-cooled. When ENIAC was announced in 1946, the news media called it a giant brain. Its computing speed was 1,000 times greater than that of electromechanical machines. This computational power, along with its general-purpose programmability, made it a technical marvel of its time. ENIAC's design and construction was financed by the United States Army.
So before this, no ENIAC. Before this, there was a some electromechanical devices were there that is for computing operation. Okay, like for I think Charles Babbage calculator was there. Okay, that is before the first generation computer. Okay, before this
construction
automatic
contract
computer.
was signed on June 5th, 1943, and work on the computer began the following month. The cost of the ENIAC in 1946 was just under $500,000, which is equivalent to over $6 million today. ENIAC was formally accepted by the U.S. Army in July 1946. ENIAC was temporarily shut down on November 9, 1946, for a refurbishment and a memory upgrade. It was then transferred to Aberdeen Proving Ground, Maryland in 1947. There, on July 29, 1947, it was turned on and remained in continuous operation until it was powered down on October 2, 1955. ENIAC was initially designed to calculate artillery firing tables for the United States Army's Ballistic Research Laboratory. A typical ballistics calculation that previously might have taken 12 hours using a desktop mechanical calculator could now be done in just 30 seconds. The ENIAC's other applications included weather prediction, atomic energy calculations, cosmic ray study.
Okay, so that time they used this particular the ENIC computer for some of the applications like weather forecasting and all. And so this is such a large system where they used punch cards.
Thermal ignition, random number studies, wind tunnel design, and other scientific uses. Here, output from one of ENIAC's printers is being produced. In this scene, we see brilliant ENIAC designers J. Presper Eckert on the left and John Mockley on the right. They would continue their involvement in computer design and manufacture far beyond ENIAC in the years to come. Even before ENIAC was fully operational, both Eckert and Mockley realized they could design and build a significantly more capable and efficient computer, incorporating some design improvements. They began working on a computer they called the EDVAC. EDVAC was delivered into the U.S. Army's Ballistics Research Laboratory in 1949 and made fully operational by 1951. In 1946, the University of Pennsylvania adopted a new patent policy, which would have required Eckert and Mockley to assign all their patents to the university if they.
So here you can see the first generation like ENIAC, then ADAC, EDAC. Okay, so these such a large computer. So for maintenance and all, like they used to fix. They used to go inside the computer room and they used to fix those panels.
They stayed beyond March. Unable to reach agreement with the university, both Eckert and Mockley left the Moore School in March 1946, along with many of the senior engineering staff. Soon afterwards, Eckert and Mockley started up the Electronic Control Company. They later changed the name to the Eckert-Mockley Computer Corporation, or EMCC. By October 9, 1947, they had a contract with Northrop Aircraft to build the BINAC, or Binary Automatic Computer. EMCC was officially incorporated in December 1947. The VAC was completed in 1984. A portion of the day and the many men and women who contributed to this amazing industry is a legacy that lives on to this day.
Okay, so the first generation computers, second generation computers. So the inventor of the first generation computer is John von Neumann, and it is based upon the vacuum tubes. Okay, so vacuum tubes are the large in size. Okay, you can see the images. So these are some of the vacuum tubes. But there are some advantages are there for the first generation, means during the 1946 or 45, it was only the electronic device. The first generation computer, it was only the electronic device. Okay, it was it was only the electronic device, and it is the first device to hold the memory during that time, and the drawbacks were too bulky in the size. Vacuum tubes, they burn frequently and they produce the more heat. Maintenance problem was there. Okay, so these are all the vacuum tubes. Okay, the type of different type of vacuum tubes that they used for the they used in the first generation computers. Okay, so this is the one more type. And I think these vacuum tubes are there, no, these are placed in Bangalore. Okay, in Bangalore, uh, that museum is there, I think Vishwesharaya museum. So in that we can see these types, these physically they are placed, these vacuum tubes and all, the first generation computers and all, we can see there. Okay, so this is the part of the first generation computers. Okay, and so here, as you have seen just now, how the large size computer was. Okay, here these vacuum tubes are placed in a rack. Okay, you can see here the vacuum tubes are placed in the rack, and it is a vacuum tube tester. Okay, to test, like normally when we used to test the bulbs, no, in the same way, this is the tester, the device for tester. Okay, device for to test the vacuum tubes, whether the vacuum tubes the it working properly or not. Okay, then punched cards, as we seen in the video. Okay, these punched cards are the input device for the first generation computers. And I think these punched cards, no, even though in present day also we are using in some of the that textile factories. In textile factories also we are using these punched cards. I think there are some types are there, like this type of punched card. No, is there anyone here? I think in Solapur, most of the people you are having, means you are aware, means some of the people are having their own factory. This type of punched cards. Anyone is there? Anyone you know this punched card? Yes. And like those punched cards, no, nowadays also they are using in the textile factories. Even 3 4 years back, no, as one of the student actually see shown, means the he actually see shown that how it looks, that the shape and all, the punched cards and all, the working and all, because they uses those punched cards in the textile factory. So that is about the input output device in the second generation of computers. So here you can see the how the large, the bulky size, that it covers the entire room. Okay, the computer. Here you can see the person, he's fixing some issues, or he's doing some like plugging the cable and all in the computer. So in the first generation computer, the one drawback is these vacuum tubes are there. No, they burn frequently. Okay, they burn frequently. That is the one of the because of overheat. They burn frequently, vacuum tube. Okay, and that's why that is the one of the problem. Maintenance problem was very. That is the main issue. Means they have to find out where the problem is and all. Maintenance was the main issue in the first generation computer. So in computer, just now we have seen the video of this one, ENI-AC. ENI-AC computers are the examples of the first generation computer. And also there is one more computer is developed in the first generation only, that is UNIVAC. It is we can say it is the first commercial computer that is delivered to the business client. Okay, UNIAC. UNIVAC is the first commercial computer. Okay, here you can see the picture of this UNIVAC. Okay, first commercial computer. Okay, so just keep in mind, first generation computer means what is the main processing device? That is vacuum tubes. Okay, then and John, who is the inventor? John von Neumann. Okay, where is that? Yeah, first generation computer, 1945 to 1956. John von Neumann. Okay, in the same way, the second generation computers, William Shockley. He is the inventor. He is the inventor. William Shockley is the inventor. 1956 to 1963. That is the we can call it as a second generation. In some book they are given in different, there may be plus or minus in 1 year. Okay, in internet you can see some 64 or 62 like. Okay, but you can take one in like from the textbook. It is mentioned like 1956 to 1963. William Shockley is the inventor of this second generation. Transistor is the main processing device, and storage is magnetic disk. Okay. So second generation computer, the size is reduced. The size of the computer is reduced considerably compared to first generation computer. Compared to the first generation computer. Okay, its size is considerably reduced, and much it is much very much reliable compared to the first generation. As you know, these transistors and all. I think in the physics practical and all. I think you know this. Okay, and next third generation comes with 1964 to 1971. The third generation computer IC is the main processing device. First generation में क्या था? Vacuum tubes. Second generation में क्या था? Transistors. Third generation में ICs, integrated circuit. Jock Kilby and Robert, these are the inventor of the third generation computer. And floppy disk is introduced in this particular third device. Storage, okay, for a storage device. Okay, now you cannot see such floppies, it is not available. Okay, and there is a boom in the market due to the semiconductor technology, as more number of ICs are fabricated. Okay, in the third generation, in the third and fourth generation computer that time. Okay, that's why integrated circuit ICs are the main processing device. Integrated circuit are the main processing device in the third generation. Here advantage of third generation computer is ICs are very small in size, so size of the computer is reduced. फर्स्ट जनरेशन में क्या था? वैक्यूम ट्यूब. सेकेंड जनरेशन में ट्रांजिस्टर. थर्ड जनरेशन में आईसीज. So IC, as you know, I think you people are used ICs in the practical. Okay, so it look like this with the pin. Pin will be there, no? Here it will be a knob. It will be black color, I think. Yeah. Okay, so you know that ICs how it looks. Okay. Here I will show you some images are there. IC image. Okay, so here the board, the PCB design, and this is the IC, integrated circuits. Okay, so these are the ICs with, you can see the pin. Okay, so IC that comes in the third generation computer. Then in the fourth generation computer, ICs with very large scale integration. Okay, that is the number of transistors are increased. Transistors in IC. Okay, the ICs, the because of the like more the fabrication in the advancement in the semiconductor technology, they developed the here IC fabrication technology was improving at a fast rate during the fourth generation computers. That helps the development of the VLSI chips, like your processor and all. Okay, Intel and most of the companies like Intel, Motorola, and National Semiconductor, they came to the market for developing the ICs. Okay, integrated circuits, and also the concept of local area network, metropolitan area network, wide area network. So these networking concepts also introduced in the year 1981. That is fourth generation computer, and I think you people know this one. This is the processor, Intel Pentium processor, Intel processors. Okay, you know these Intel processors, right? Then fourth generation advantage is that it is a compact and less power consumption because the IC size is reduced. Okay, IC size is reduced, and there is a low power consumption. Okay, low power consumption. Okay, so the production cost is also cheap. the reduced. Okay, but here the drawback is that there is no artificial intelligence in the fourth generation computer. Okay, then fifth generation computers, like it is mentioned like from 1985 to till date, that comes under the fifth generation. In some of the internet you can see they considered even sixth generation also, like from 2010 or 15 onwards, 10 onwards, sixth generation. But in the textbook it is not mentioned like sixth generation and all, it is mentioned, not mentioned. Okay, here we can say this from 1985 onwards. Okay, we are having a fifth generation computers, like the introduction of these cutting edge technology and developing the expert systems. Okay, and the concept like computer vision, machine learning, AI, then large parallelism. Okay, and with development in the communication technology like wireless, cellular, digital communication, all these comes in the fifth generation computers. Okay, so fifth generation, as you can see, like how it is improved in terms of performance. Performance means the speed of the computer and how the size is reduced, size of the computer is reduced. Okay, so just I want to know from your side, like in the fifth generation computer. Okay, if we compare with the first generation computer to till date, means today. Okay, so just let me know what are the changes that we observed here. Changes, what are the changes? Yes, let me know. Rule number 8. What are the changes, like in the first generation computer and now in the fifth, in today? Okay, like suppose in the size. Okay, the size of the computer. Okay, the size is here that you can see large size of computers, right? And here the size is reduced considerably, reduced by, as we are using the laptops, the smartphone, mobile devices. Okay, even some smart devices also we are using. Okay, means size is reduced. Then what are the other features, like you can discuss here? Yes. Okay, roll number 1, processing speed. Good. Processing speed, uh, it is improved. Processing speed is improved from the first generation. Processing speed, like the calculation time, the response time, it is we cannot means it is improved a lot. Okay, compared to the first generation to today. Okay, then processing speed, and yeah, low power consumption, it is also very important. Power consumption, earlier in the first generation, it was the large size computers and they used to consume more power, and because of the more consumption of the power it produces more heat. Okay, so that is the one of the drawback was there. And now even like we are carrying all these devices in like in our pockets, or mobile phone, these mobile phone, laptop and all. Even though if we like work more than 10-15 hours also, it won't produce more heat. Okay, so there is a less power consumption also. Then windows means operating system. Okay, operating system is also the main processing device. It is also changed from vacuum tube to like adoption of like changing the operating system in a device. Multitasking. Good. Multitasking is very important, as nowadays see in my mobile phone, I'm like I opened many applications, and even I am communicating to the large group of, as we are communicating around 60 people are there in the classroom. So we are communicating here one to one with video connection, with audio connection. So, and along with that, I can do some multiple tasks also. Okay, here just in this particular class only, I opened this particular application, this PDF, and also I opened this particular video file. This particular browser is there. Okay, there are some multiple tasking is going on. Then low power consumption. Okay, processor generation means, yeah, improvisation in the, like in the I1 process, I3 processor, I7 process, I5 processor, I7 processor. Okay, means there is a change in the processor. Okay, then vacuum tubes are replaced with the transistors. Yeah, now that is from the first generation to today. Okay, even because in our size is considerably reduced. Even our computer is having this even i5 generation, i5 processor. Okay, i5 generation, 10th generation. Here we can see there are different generation, means the transistor count is increased in terms of billions. That processor chip, no, that contains, here you can see the how the processor is changed. You can see there is a 8 MB cache memory is there, and up to it can extend to 4.1. There are 4 core processor, 8 core, octa core, quad core. It is 4 cores means quad core. Octa core means multiple. It will be help for the multiple, like to handling the task, multiple task at a time. Okay, and these are the some features: wireless power supply. Processor configuration. Here you can see the processor configuration. Cache memory 6 MB, 6 MB. Here the cache 8 MB, one here 12 MB. Okay, here i5 processor is there. i5 processor. Okay, 12 MB. You can see the change how it is. Like as this particular configuration is increasing, the cost is also increasing. Okay, but you are getting more. The performance will be more. Okay, so battery life. Okay, high accuracy. Input output devices are changed. Okay, yeah, size of the input output device also changed from first generation computer to till date. The input output, the size of the device is changed. High accuracy. Now there are no punched cards, instead there are magnetic tapes. Portable. Cost is reduced in today's generation. Yeah, cost compared to the first generation computer, cost is reduced. Good.